Hi everyone, so welcome to Investing for Value. So today I'm going to talk about DHT Holdings because it just recently released its financial reports and they look pretty good. So right now the share price is $6.83, having dropped 7.5%, which is a bit disappointing because they are performing really well. So the share price is not reacting accordingly, and that's because everyone's looking at the current oil prices and they are rising. So there's kind of a sentiment where if oil prices rise, it means there's less business for these oil tankers, and that's far from the truth. Like, oil prices are still considered very, very low. They just rebounded to above, over $20, having been below $20 for a good while. And then people start to panic around the oil tankers, thinking there's no opportunity. There is very much opportunity still available. Okay, so let's go through the financials and I'll explain why I see in those financials and what gives me a bit more confidence in this company. So for quarter one for 2020, their revenue is up from the prior quarter. The prior quarter was also very, very good. So if we look at quarter three of 2019, they did 104 million in shipping revenue. And then they basically nearly doubled that in quarter four of 2019 at 191 million. And then in quarter one, they did basically double quarter three. So at 211 million, that is amazing, especially when you consider quarter two was 100 million, quarter one of 2019 was 132 million. So this figure of 210 is pretty good. And it translates quite well to 72 million in net income, and that's slightly below quarter four. Though if we kind of look down here and we read, they actually had a write-off of 12.6 million, which was a non-cash change. So basically, it's just an accounting change, but they definitely got the cash for that. So in reality, their net profit figure should be around 84.8 million, which is actually higher than the 75.9 million in quarter four. So that kind of gives you a bit of confidence when you look at this and go, yeah, the quarter one was quite good and it was significantly better than any other quarter in 2019. So what do they say about their earnings? In their earnings, they say their spot market rates, they achieve 66,400 per day on average, which is amazing, right? They did have time charters, which are the more long-term contracts of 54,000, and that gave them an average of 64,400 across the whole fleet, which is pretty good. Mind you, they're doing even better in the second quarter. So in the second quarter, they had 66% of their very large crude carriers on the spot rates. They were getting $110,400, which is, nothing short of, amazing, right? 110,000. This is basically doubling the average, well, nearly doubling, not quite doubling, but nearly doubling the average they were getting in the prior quarter. And also they've paid down their debt, which is also fantastic. We will go have a look at their balance sheet. So I'll just point this out. So this is for quarter two. So quarter two, their time charter days are 749, and that's basically taken up. And the spot rates, 1,122 days have been taken up. And basically, the only capacity they still have left is 584 days. So basically, about three quarters of the capacity that they still have left well, basically three quarters of their full capacity is taken up. So that's quite good. That means these guys will be getting 87,900 per day, and that is an equivalent of 164 million for quarter two. Just just in quarter two. Like, if we look here, so this is the adjusted revenue, 152, and this is 164 adjusted. So focus on this adjusted revenue figure rather than the shipping rates, And then if you look at the adjusted net revenue here, it's 152. And before quarter two has even ended, we're just at the start of quarter two, and well, not necessarily, well, more close to getting the middle, I guess. They have already secured 3/4 of the capacity, and if they can sell off the rest of the capacity, they could be doing some very, very nice numbers. So I imagine they will fill up this capacity, and they would be looking at what maybe close to 170, 180 by the time the quarter two ends, which would be amazing for this company. And also, they've been paying down their debt. So the debt at the start of the year was 866 million, and the current debt as of May the 5th is 807 million, down by 57.8 million, which is, yeah, amazing again. So we're looking at a company that's paying down its debt. It's also paying a dividend, so they've also announced a dividend of 35 cents. So if we look right here, 35 cents would be over 5% return on this current share price, and that's just for the current quarter. The prior quarter they paid 32 cents, and this quarter they paid 35, so you can see there's a slight increase on the prior quarter, and that's a really good sign of things to come, that next quarter it could even increase. And it's great because they're paying down their debt, they're paying a lot of dividends, because you add the last, for 6 month dividends, you basically got a 10% return on 6 month, for just 6 month dividends on the current share price. So if you ask me why the share price is like kind of coming down and not, rather than going up, I wouldn't be able to explain it other than people just haven't seen the financials and they're not reacting accordingly. I would say just be patient, take the dividends. The dividends is pretty good, and let time do its work. Over time, I imagine the share price will rise, and for the time being, take 5% dividends. It's pretty good. Like, it's hard to find a company paying dividends this high in this current situation. So also I just want to point out, yeah, just a few other things. So they'll have their conference call on this May the 6th on Wednesday, depending on which time zone you are. So just look out for this 8 a.m. I imagine it's just before the opening of the market. And yeah, so that's quite a nice situation. Overall, assets look very similar. The only big changes are the contracts, which is not a big deal. And yeah, we can see with the long-term debt, it's gone down from that 750 to the 678. And yeah, and in the current portion of the long-term debt. So overall, there's nothing too worrying about the situation. The company is earning very, very good profits, even if it's not showing in share price right now. I encourage you to have a look at these financials yourself. Overall, we're just looking at the revenue figures. We're looking at what they're bringing in income, and what their quarter two is, and quarter two looks pretty stellar. So let me know what your thoughts are on this company. I personally thought they were pretty good, though, you know, if the share price is going down, it could just be because of oil prices going up, or maybe someone else is seeing something completely different to what I'm seeing. So that's why I'm always interested to hear your perspectives, or if you have any questions, please ask away. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.